Sadly, this great man passed away at the age of 90. And although I don't agree with some of his theories about aliens, I do agree with many of his observations, and I find his work fascinating. And honestly, it's totally relevant to my personal search for answers. I remember as a child, my dad had his book, Chariot of the Gods, and I think my dad bought his book in an attempt to understand me better. My dad at least tried to understand me by reading the only book that had something similar to say as his 5-year-old child. So, thank you, Dad. I could wax lyrical about all of Von Daniken's achievements, but so many others are already doing this that I think for me, it's more important to address what he meant to me. And I just want to say that his work made it possible for me to feel a little less crazy because I wasn't the only one asking these questions and trying to get to grips with the bigger picture. But he was out there in the public asking difficult questions, especially the ones that archaeologists don't like. And he was coming up with some very interesting conclusions. But it wasn't his conclusions that struck me, it was his observations. And I guess his questions. His work was preceded by people like Ignatius Donnelly, whose answers to similar sorts of questions were Atlantis rather than aliens. But the questions were similar. In fact, many of them were the same. Von Daniken looked into some of the unbelievable structures and the consistent styles of stonework around the world. He considered the myths and legends of native people, and he looked at the out-of-place artifacts, the amazing alignments, the ancient wisdom, and, in particular, the weird-looking artifacts and ancient art, and so much more. He essentially paved the way for the alternative history buffs like myself